Hello, I'm Dr. Craig Stern of Pharma Pharmaceutical Consultants. Today I'd like to talk about healthcare trend. This is an incredibly important area. Budgets are built on it. Actuaries spend a significant amount of time with it. The way we conceive of things, however, a significant number of decisions are made on this, whether they are insurance decisions or healthcare benefit decisions, and to be honest with you, a certain degree of clinical decisions. So what are we talking about? Let's start with the concept that in 1 year, our costs, our utilization of services, and when I talk about utilization of services, I mean the number of services that we use, whether it's hospital or physician office or drugs or whatever. In 1 year, we have so many services. The next year, we have a different number of those services. Now, it could be year over year, it could be month over month, it could be quarter over quarter, it could be whatever. And we're very aware of the fact that there is seasonality here. There are certain times of the year where there is a flu season. There are certain times of the year when people go on vacation, so there's less particular services that are involved. There are particular times of the year when it's cold back east, for example. It's snowing. There's a lot of cold weather. There's greater number of heart attacks, greater number of people slipping and falling and breaking limbs and arms, etc. So we have a differentiation that goes on throughout the year, and the real issue for us is how do we compare what happened a year ago or a quarter ago to what's happening now? When we talk about that, we're talking about the difference. So whether we measure it in dollars, whether we measure it in the number of services that go on, I have to try and make some accommodation to understand how one thing deals with another so that we don't get one number. And let's use dollars, for example, a PMPM, as we talked about before, a per member per month. And that per member per month is one number in one quarter. The second quarter, it's another number. The third quarter, it's a third number. And finally, the fourth number, it's another number. And we want to get some sense. We come up with a number, so what does it mean if we say that the PMPM is $25? What does that mean? Well, if we compare it from one quarter to the same quarter the next year, seasonality has kind of worked itself out. It's kind of baked into the number. So we have an opportunity to understand that. Well, that difference gives us a difference in a very broad sense. Some people use the word variance, not exactly what it is in mathematics, but in common parlance, it's a difference or a variance, and other people would call it a trend. Now, technically, the trend would have to have a difference, and then we would be subtracting out what the trend was in the prior period. So we really have a good number, but I won't get into the real math of it because I think right now the most important thing is that we understand that whether it's a PMPM, a per member per month number, whether it's a cost per patient per month or per utilizer per month or a utilization number, the important thing is there is a difference. We need to compare. We need to see one number versus another so that we have some way of putting each number in perspective. That number is trend. Clearly, trend is going up. We want to have some control of it. It gives us an opportunity to benchmark it, to find a way to manage it, and it is our goal, it is our issue to make sure that we have some manageable number in trend year over year, quarter over quarter, that allows us to say we are up 5%, 10%, 7%, whatever the number is, and allows us to match what's going on. Trend is different depending on the group. It's different depending on the demographics, on the geographics, etc. And there are national numbers that are published for the entire healthcare industry in order to help it benchmark what's going on. It's an important indicator. It's one that we use constantly and even clinically in order to make sure that we understand, have we improved our trend in managing certain conditions or not? Thank you so much for taking time with me this afternoon. I appreciate it. I wish you good health. Be well.